Welcome to Trending Upward, and this is Chad Hayes. I want to thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Trending Upward, and I trust that the podcast today will be a help to you. It is my desire that the Word of God be used in such a way on this platform that it would be a help to you as you seek to trend upward. It is important that this life that we live be an ascending Christian life and not a descending Christian life. I trust it to be a help to you as you listen today. Today we're going to pose the question, are you too tender-hearted? Ephesians 4 and verse 32, and be ye kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God for Christ's sake hath forgiven you. Oftentimes, we as believers can fall into the traps of being too kind, or perhaps even being too tender-hearted. And on the surface, we may ask, well, is there such a thing as being too kind or too tender-hearted? The answer is yes and no. You know, true kindness tells people the truth. If you think you're being kind because you're withholding truth, then you're not being kind at all. Being truly tender-hearted also tells people the truth. Kind means proceeding from tenderness or goodness of heart. And also being tender-hearted means very susceptible of the softer passions of love, pity, or kindness. I ask you, can you be too tender-hearted? You know, there's a danger to being tender-hearted, which is what we're commanded to be. We are commanded to be tender-hearted, but there is a possibility of being too tender-hearted. 2 Chronicles 13 and verse 7, and there are gathered unto him vain men, the children of Belial, and have strengthened themselves against Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, when Rehoboam was young and tender-hearted, and could not withstand them. We see where Rehoboam was young and tender-hearted, and as a result, he could not withstand the enemy. Ephesians 6 and verse 13, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. So if we are to put on the whole armor of God for the purpose of withstanding, and if being too tender-hearted leads to a lack of withstanding, then we need a little heart armor too. So what's the balance? I invite you today to be tender-hearted, but maintain a sense of good and right. Be tender-hearted, but maintain your strength. Be tender-hearted, but be willing to fight when necessary. Be kind and tender-hearted are biblical commands, but they can be taken to the extreme if they interfere with our ability to withstand. So be tender-hearted enough to forgive, but not to the point that you are unable to withstand. Don't be so tender-hearted that you fall victim. So kindness and tender-heartedness precedes forgiveness, because these two attributes help us to forgive. But we aren't to be too kind, and we aren't to be too tender-hearted to the point that we are doormats either. I'd like to thank you for listening today to Trending Upward. If it's been a help to you, I invite you to share this podcast with someone and help get the word out on how they too can trend upward in their walk with God.